Hi, my name is Mary Edgerton, and I'm a yoga instructor with Night Sky Yoga here in the Berkshires. Today I'm at the Clark, and I am delighted to share with you a dynamic yoga practice that's inspired by the painting Rockets and Blue Light by J.M.W. Turner. Whenever you're doing yoga, please listen to your body, and if there's something that feels uncomfortable for you, please feel free to modify. Let's get started by looking at the painting together, and then I'll see you on the mat. Here we are in coastal England, where an unusual event is unfolding. While there may be a particular story being told here, we can also respond to this image on a visceral level. To me, this painting is almost a celebration of nature's energy, with dynamic action in the ocean and sky. The atmosphere is fully charged with vigorous, horizontal, vertical, and even diagonal lines of movement shooting from the center. At the same time, if you look carefully, you can also see a small group of people huddling together, and they project an entirely different aura. They almost present a contrast to the vigorous energy in the air and sea, and they seem to remind us to be careful, to draw in, and to be safe. We can explore this same tension between vigorous movement and steady rootedness in our yoga practice. We can expand outward, feel energized, and create more space in our bodies, but at the same time, we need to find balance in our practice by also feeling rooted and grounded. Please come to the front edge of your mat and bring your hands to either side of your body. Your feet are hip-width apart. We're going to begin with a couple of rounds of a sun salutation or a variation thereof. Sometimes this is called Surya Namaskar A. So let's begin. On your inhale, reach your arms wide and up, palms meet overhead. And on your exhale, swan dive down. On the inhale, please come up to a flat back. That might mean bring your hands up to somewhere along your shins or below your knees. And on your exhale, back into forward fold. Send your left foot back, all the way back to come into a lunge, and then lower your knee, untuck your toes. And from here, we're going to rise up into a low lunge. Arms reach overhead as you lift your heart and lift your gaze. On the exhale, please bring your hands back to either side of the foot, and you can step back into a plank. Lower knees. Lower your chest. Inhale for cobra or maybe up dog, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Look to the front edge of your mat, step or hop into a forward fold. Inhale, reach arms wide and up, and exhale, hands to heart space. So that was first side. We'll do side two now, left side. Inhale, reach up wide, palms meet at the top of the breath. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, send right foot back into lunge. Lower knee, untuck your toes, rise up, crescent moon. And then exhale, bring hands down to either side of the foot to step back through plank, lower knees, chest. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step or hop, forward fold. Inhale, reach arms wide and up. And exhale, bring hands down to heart space. So let's just do that one more time with the breath to warm up, and then we'll continue. So inhale, reach arms wide and up. Swan dive down. Lift. Step left foot back. Lower your knee and tuck your toes. Rise up for crescent moon. And then slide hands down through heart space to the mat. Step back into plank. Knees, chest. Up dog or cobra and down dog. Step or hop, forward fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, please bring hands down. Last side. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Lower knee and tuck your toes. Rise up, root down to rise. Open up. Exhale, bring your hands down through midline to the mat. Step back for plank. Knees, chest, cobra or up dog, and back through downward facing dog. And then come back into your forward fold, please. Inhale, reach arms wide and up. And let your hands come down through heart space. Okay, we're going to come into a chair pose now. So your feet are hip width apart. Bend your knees and lift your arms overhead. Feel that sense of rooting down into the mat, lengthen your tailbone, and expanding upward through arms. Okay, let's come all the way back to standing once again. So it could be that your heartbeat or your heart rate is a little elevated in your dynamic practice. Stay with your breath in and out through your nose. This time, please bring your feet together and come down through chair pose. We're going to twist. Bring your left elbow across your right knee as you open your chest in the direction of your twist. You could play with opening arms out wide, expanding out from the center. And then bring hands back together to the center and come into your twist to the other side. So please be mindful that your knees are parallel, not shifting around as you come into your twist. And you can stay here or open out arms. Coming back to your center. On the inhale, reach wide, root down to rise. As you lift up, meet your hands to the top of the breath. And then let's open wide, please, to face each other. Bring your feet to parallel. So bringing your hands to your hips. Your feet are wide and parallel, and we'll tilt forward into a forward fold. So not rounding, but reaching long to a forward fold. And if you can, please bring your hands to the floor. So you might want to go a little wider through your feet so you can bring hands to the floor and find that your spine is long. Then from there, you can bring left hand or fist to the floor as you reach the right arm all the way open. So feel like you're creating this kind of up-down energy, rooting down through your left hand as you reach open and wide through right. And lower your hand. Good. And the other side. Stacking your arms, stacking your shoulders, engaging your quadriceps, lengthening from tailbone to crown. So these kind of opposite lines of energy, arm over arm and then long spine. So you've got this horizontal line of your spine and this kind of up-down energy between your hands. And then bring your hand back down to meet the other hand. Let's walk our hands back up to the hips finally, and please come all the way back up to standing. Turning your toes away from the front edge of your mat. Open your arms, expand outward. And then bending your knee, we're finding Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. So feel like you're rooting down through your feet, you're rolling that knee open, lifting out through heart, expanding out through your arms. This is Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. And then from there, we're going to reach back into Reverse Warrior. Create space through your ribs. And then coming back up through Warrior Two, please bring your forearm to rest lightly on the thigh as the top arm reaches long. And this is this kind of wonderful diagonal reach, reaching down through the outside edge of your back foot and then out through fingertips. Can you open out through your ribs? And can you lengthen your neck, soft jaw? Okay, then inhale, come back up through a Warrior Two, please, to come into triangle. Lengthening the front leg, reaching long, finding your hand to come down somewhere along the calf or the ankle as you stack your arms. So you could stay here for another 10 breaths in triangle. If you want to go further, and you've done this before, you could come into Ardha Chandrasana now. Hand to your hip, looking down, sliding your hand forward and exploring coming into a balance here. So rooting down through foot and then expanding outward through arms. Everyone coming back through Warrior Two to lengthen your leg. Bring your hands to your hips, feet back to center, or feet back to parallel rather. And let's take another forward fold. This time, you can let your head come down towards the floor. So let the head come down, hands can come down. You might want to even bring your feet a little wider and try to get your head towards floor. It may not come all the way down. This is your resting moment. One or two more breaths. Okay, and let's climb back out. So coming out through long spine, and then hands up to your hips. Please lift all the way up, stacking shoulders over hips, and we're going to take the whole thing on the second side. So your toes rotate open towards the front edge of your mat, open your arms wide. This is this open hip sequence that we're exploring now, and it's a sense of expanding outward from the core. So bend your knee to find Virabhadrasana 2. Reach arms wide, root down through your feet. So you're kind of getting that sense of rootedness so that you could expand outward. And then when you're ready, the whole low body remains super stable as you reach back, reverse warrior. Creating a sense of real spaciousness in your side torso, in your intercostal muscles. And inhale, back up to bring the forearm to rest lightly on the thigh. And now reaching long through Parsvakanasana, side angle pose. Diagonal line of energy. And let's come back up to Warrior Two here for triangle. So in triangle, both legs are straight. You've got to get that toe to really turn out on the one side. Find so much length on this side and tip into triangle. And you could stay here for 10 or 15 breaths, working on opening rib cage, stacking shoulder over shoulder. You don't even have to bring the arm up. That's sort of the icing on the cake to extend your arm. Or you could come into that Ardha Chandrasana that we explored on the second side, or on the first side rather. So you could rest your hand on your hip the whole time or reach up. And coming back through Warrior Two. This time, let's take a full vinyasa. So please bring your hands to cartwheel over to the frame the front foot. Step back through plank. Lower knees, lower chest. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, please, through child's pose. Couple of breaths resting in child's pose. Hips back to heels. So we're going to come right up to all fours here and come down to the belly. Bringing your heels in towards you. If you can, catch your heels, or the fronts of your ankles really, and press your shins back, coming into bow pose. So if this pose is interesting for you and it feels okay for your low back, you'll take 3 breaths here, and you might even rock with a breath. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, releasing. So you can do that 3 times. If that doesn't feel nice for your knees or your low back, reach your arms and legs long. Okay, and then we'll bring hands to either side of the chest, peeling back one last time into child's pose, hips back to heels. So if you're ending the practice now, you can come to your back body and rest in Shavasana. And if you wish to continue the practice, please come up to a seated pose. Namaste. I hope you've enjoyed this dynamic yoga class and that you'll have a chance to visit the Clark one day soon to see rockets and blue lights in person. Until then, you can look and learn more about the painting on the Clark website.